speaking in public when I grew up, but then I realized that I could write poetry, so this is pretty much my entire testimony wrapped up in one poem. It's called Baggage Claim.
I like that one.
I'm so stricken with, and I'm so sick and tired of this baggage I have carried. See, it has duped me into definitely doing no good, just leaving me jet lagged and worried. And it consistently and it constantly, it kept sending attacks from every side. And I tried to block but couldn't defend its assault and battery. And it kept bringing up my dead flesh man and leaving him unburied in. And it kept taking the ring off my left hand and leaving me unmarried in. And it kept milking my patience like it was treasured dairy in. It came up and whispered to me, asking if I wanted to be like God. See, it tore me away from the truth to the far side of sanity, and it took off my humble robes, and it put on the chains of vanity, and it tempted me with all my boyish fantasies, and it made my judgment and my conscience atrophied. See, it was the most secretive of affairs that was plain to see, and its effect wasn't physical but spiritually. See, its deceitful conception brought about a sinful baby that reminded me daily of all the dark deeds that I've done lately. See, it made me weak trying to carry it around, and I tried to speak up but couldn't make a sound, and I told everybody I was up and I was only headed down, and my happy smile covered a very weary frown. But the thought of where I'm now makes me feel secure. See, God finally helped me lose my taste for the Lord. See, He brought me out of that muck and mire that kept me in the sewer. See, so now I'm free without the slightest smell of the manure. See, so people can ask me how and I can tell them about the miracle cure. See, nothing fancy, just a man dying to keep my road to home secure. See, see, so now I'm feeling like the next disciple. See, I'm feeling like number 13 because God looked at my baggage, and because Christ looked at my baggage, and because the Holy Spirit looked at my baggage, and they wiped it clean, and they wiped it clean, and they wiped it clean, and they threw it on their backs and said, "You're with me, no in between, no in between, no in between." So now it's time for me to start believing on my own, but never on my own exceeding the normal. Looking up to a God who did all my bleeding and with one word can completely transform me. See, I'm here to make a believable proclamation. See, I've lived something along the lines of a deviation, and it's pretty obvious, no need for divination. My frustration is seeped through the cracks like grass through old pavement, and I make too many withdrawals not covered by the payment, and I feel so down like I'm up under the basement, and I feel so left out like after my replacement, and I feel so lost in need of a placement. See, my actions can be defined as none other than flagrant, and my salvation is here even though it's a little latent, and I should have been searching for the doctor in need of his patience, and I should have been looking for the flower, instead I was just found with the fragrance. You see, I had lived my life doing actual sin, not the stuff that I was born with, no, not original sin, and it was by my own free will when I was not willing to win, and it was an infection that was deep, not a disease of the skin, and it's innocent. No, it's a deadly sin. See, it was like I had no room for Christ within, but it was like I was trying to show Christ within his own little box, like He's nothing. Yes, my life was lived in an intense embarrassment, telling God, "Son, there's no room in this sin. There's no room in this heart, not a spare part." See, I feel so different, like I'm some abstract art. See, now letting God play one part in this drama that I call life, for the pain and strife should have been razor sharp, but I was just a butter knife. Not really focused on my quality of life, but it was on a day like today, just like every other day, but unique in its own little way, that I got back on track, turned around, and was finally headed the right way. See, it was the Holy Spirit that prompted me, and it was God that sought me, and it was Jesus' love and blood that bought me. So, God, help me walk while the talk still be visible speech. Help me stay on guard so there's no visible breach. Suck the death out of me like a medicinal leech, and clean me up and purify me with some spiritual bleach. Maybe, just maybe, so I can have some peace, and so I can proclaim and use your name as more than just a conversational piece. Yes, so, now let me finally declare, or will freely decree that I'm cleaning up this newly freed sinful debris, and I'm going to agree to the highest degree that I resist the devil so now he flees, and then I can pronounce him an absentee, and then I'll deny my flesh till it's deceased, and I guarantee that I'm an adoptee, and that my Father is in me and is using me and is subduing my spirit, and I'm doing what He called me to do, and I'm being who He called me to be. You see, it was that calling from the falling that saved me from the gnashing and the gnawing of teeth. See, I'm not shady, I'm firm in my beliefs. I'm not crazy, I'm sane when I sleep. So don't come calling me a hypocrite, I don't need your beef. And don't come threatening me, I don't need more grief. And don't come stealing my peace, I don't need more thieves. You see, do you not know it's for you that I weep? Because I want to save you from that calamity you're looking at longfully and running to joyfully. See, God saved me, and he can save you too. So don't try to do it alone, because if you do, there won't be breakthrough. So my Lord, my God, show them as you've shown me, and teach them how to live their life and how to live it holy, my God. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nisi, help me.